So many times people ask me, how do you hold down a relationship and be in business for yourself and hold so many projects down? Earlier today, I was talking with a friend of mine, and she just recently went through a breakup with the boyfriend that she had been with for a while. And she was saying she's a go getter. She has a couple of businesses. She's millennial. She is doing really well. She set goals for herself, she reaches them. She was in a relationship. The man was a little bit older than her. And oftentimes she says she would look up and think to herself, "Oh, why am I moving harder than you are?" She said, at first she was in the relationship. She was attracted and loving, and everything was going great. And then all of a sudden, she found that she was the one up leaving the house quick every day. She had a routine. She was up, she was moving. She wasn't sleeping in late. She was out of the house early. She'd look up and go, "Are you getting up and doing anything today?" She's a boss. She's a boss, a mover, a shaker as a millennial. And you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm what, 15 years older than her. And I'm thinking to myself, age doesn't even really matter. I know other boss women too in this world, and sometimes that's a big issue with us, and no one's talking about it, right? We talk about it privately. We don't talk about it until we have an upset in a relationship. Even those of you that are bosses and that you're married, just this whole idea of how do you handle the whole world and take care of your relationship. Yeah, this is a topic that we may not, and I may not even have the answer to in this moment. It may be something that all of us have an opinion on. It's something that we've all tried to do. It's something that some of us right now are doing and not being successful at it, or some of us are doing it and we have some pointers. We have to have a big discussion about this and talk about some best practices when it comes to owning a successful company and having a love life, having a relationship with someone. Finding the time to do the things that matters, even if it's a relationship with yourself. I'm serious, guys. Sometimes we're so successful at managing other people, at managing business, and the area that we're not always successful at is managing our personal life, managing our love or our romance or our going out with somebody or developing and cultivating a relationship. Who has time for that? That's what some of you would say, huh? But I want to tell you this, hey, not changing anyone's prerogative, totally up to you. I know for me, I choose to look up and have success and a man, to look up and have a love life, to look up and have great money in the bank and at the same time have a great relationship. And that takes dedication, it takes intention, and it takes a strong woman. A strong woman in the sense of not attitude, strong woman, but a strong woman that says, "Hey, I'm not going to change me." Now, I don't mean not change your ugly ways. You need to do that. I'm saying, I'm not going to change my success. Now, this is a really touchy topic. We were talking about this earlier, and one of the things that she said was, "I'm not changing me. I wasn't going to change. I have a routine. I get up. This is why I have success." Right? And oftentimes she said he would be hanging at the bar, and she's thinking to herself, "You're older than me. You're hanging at the bar all day. Is this okay with you? Is it okay with you to uh just chill all day long and have no business about yourself?" And these are the things that she was thinking in her mind. Eventually, the relationship started growing apart because she was constantly focusing on her goals. She had a routine. Many of you are like me, are like her. You have a routine. If you're about anything, if you're about making some money, if you're about reaching the bottom line, you and I both know that it requires routine. It requires a schedule. It requires you getting up early and cutting things off sooner, quicker, faster, so that you can get up and be your all the next day. It requires a lot to have a successful life financially, impacting people. serving, if you're in the service industry, if you're in the community industry, it is a lot of intention and discipline. And sometimes the loved one that you're with, if their mindset, it's not even about the money, it's about the mindset. If their mindset doesn't match your mindset, there's going to be a time where it feels like a tussle. And a relationship should feel where you feel like you're embraced and loving, not going the other way. She used an interesting word when we were talking too. She said, "You know what? I almost don't want to say this, but I feel like he was jealous." Any of you ever been in a relationship where it was going good and then all of a sudden it felt like you were competing with the person? "Oh, here's what I'm doing. Oh, really? I've done that. Oh, really? I'm doing that. Or really? Oh, I'm doing something even better." Your love relationship should not feel like you're competing. We should be working together. We should be celebrating each other. We should be celebrating our moves. We should be creating goals together or letting one another be an individual. How about that? We could be in 2 different industries. You could be working just a job. You could be working a 9 to 5, and I could be a boss business owner. And yes, we can come together. The love, the intention, our mindsets coming together, we can make things work. It's in the mindset. So often when I was younger, I would, date guys or get with people who I'd be attracted to immediately. But then once I got in a relationship, I realized that my mindset was up here because I had goals and I had millions I wanted to reach and I had things I wanted to do. Not saying anything wrong with the guy. I'm not putting the guy down. I need you to hear me. I'm not putting the guy down. However, the guy's mindset was here and I was here. And what was happening is I kept trying to make him come up. And whenever you get in this type of a relationship and you're in a boss position, the frustration and the energy and the time that it takes to constantly get this person to look up, to look up, to look up, it causes such a disruption in your soul that you start to sometimes compromise. And I've seen it. I've seen it with some of the women around me, business owners, professional women who have gone after a career and now they've moved up the chain and they're directors of high level programs. And, they're here. And then because their love tank needs to be filled up, they meet someone and they don't bother to look at the limits and what's happening. So they just jump in it and the passion is all there. And then once the passion is there, you look up and a year or two's gone by and now you're looking at each other and you're like, okay, I'm still doing this and he's still here or the person's still here. And you're like, okay, I need you to look up here. And then what happens, that gap, inside of that gap is jealousy. Inside of that gap is mistrust. Inside of that gap is frustration. And the truth is they're not even frustrated with you. They're frustrated with themselves. And that's where it becomes bad. She was saying, "Oh, I think the guy's jealous," and that's a word that we're putting on it. And what I was saying back to her was that, in all actuality, we're using the word jealousy, but it's really not a jealousy. It is a frustration with self because when you are connected with a go getter, someone that's busting these goals down, creating new goals, going after them, getting up early, setting standards, moving forward with their life. When you're with someone that has that kind of energy and you're just here moving through life, eventually it's going to come to a head because the person who's just moving here and you're moving like this person is going to become frustrated with themselves and you're the inspiration. And instead of them getting inspired, they get mad and they start saying things like, "Well, what are you off doing today? And where are you? And I don't trust that you're doing this." And they start bugging you and, causing tension in the house or causing tension in the relationship. And your mindset is on, "Oh, look what I did today. Look what goal I met today. Look what I'm doing." And then they're like this. And then it starts getting frustrating because they're not moving and reaching goals. So they don't share the same exciting energy. And believe it or not, your exciting energy, it might be what attracted them to you. because you are a go-getter. You're something that they're not and they inspire to be, but they never want to put the work in. They just want to receive the reward. They don't want to put the work in. They want to receive the reward. Oh, this was a good conversation today. And I even look at it in my life. I was married once before, over 18 years. I've had the married life. I've had children. I've had other businesses. I've gone through the woman change, the premenopausing. I've done that. And I've also been successful at business. And I am in the space now in a wonderful relationship where we're both mature. We both have an income coming in. We get our income differently. However, it's not about the money, it's about our mindset. And so I've learned that you can be here and be a mover and a shaker. And then someone can enter into your life that's not quite there physically or financially. But if their mindset is willing to go there, you guys can make it work because they have to be open. They have to be willing to acknowledge the things that you have reached, the goals you have reached. They have to be able to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, she's done it and she's doing it. And yes, in this area, she's going to take the lead. I'm going to have to listen to what she has to say. The young lady I was talking to earlier, she said she spent a majority of the relationship encouraging him, coaching him, giving him other ways of looking at things. And to the point where she just got up and said, "You know what? I'm still doing me. I'm not going, I'm just doing me, just doing me." And as she kept doing that, it caused more tension in the relationship. And then it ended up snowballing into what it is today, which is they're not together. And her exact words to me today was, "All that is out the door. I'm ready to get refocused now." She goes, "I got things to do. I got some more businesses I'm opening up." And so I could feel her energy shift when she was talking to me. And all I could see was myself in her. As she was saying that, all I could see is myself in her. Maybe you see yourself in this conversation. Maybe you've reached millions or more, or you're headed in that direction. And you look over here at your personal life and your dating life, and you're thinking to yourself, how am I successful at this, but not at this? Don't do that if that's you. Don't start putting yourself through that because that's where you'll meet that person and they'll seep in right there and they'll know how to play on that. So don't even do that. You are successful. You have to make up a mindset that says, "Here's what I want." And it's okay. It's not good, bad, right or wrong. No one's judging anybody here. We're just having a difficult conversation, but a much needed conversation. And I'm sure we're going to have more on this podcast about this one. I'm sure I'm going to have women joining me on this one, probably even men on this one, because it's a good one. If we can have a down to earth, healthy relationship, a healthy conversation around this, we could see couples succeed in this. We really could. It can happen. It starts with the mindset. If you're here and you're constantly moving at a fast pace and you're reaching goals and your partner is just waking up and they're here, don't make them feel bad. Just give them the nuggets, give them the juice, give them the things that you do. And if they can wrap their brain around and start moving like you and you two meet up, then great. We can keep moving. We can move. The key is moving forward. If you're in a relationship and it's stuck, is stagnant. You look up in a year and you've grown, but you've grown, 5, 10 steps towards your goal, or you even hit a goal on to another one and they're still right here. You need to reevaluate that relationship. Or you might just say that's okay if it's no tension there. But I'm telling you, that tension is coming. That person's gonna wake up one day and go, "Hey, I wish I could do that." They're internally saying this. They didn't say it out loud. They said, "Oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, I wish I had a little bit more money. Oh, I wish I could do a little bit more for you. Oh, I wish I had this in the relationship." That's what they're going to do. And then here you are moving this way, still reaching goals, still reaching goals, still reaching goals. And eventually there's a tension there that grows in the middle. We have to fill that gap. I personally, this is my personal thing. There's no good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just me personally. As a female, as a boss, as a mother, as a successful business owner, I personally feel that when I'm dating, I look at the mindset first. I really do. And now this is just my wisdom. Because I was with someone married that was he was successful, graduated a high private college, started on a career path, still is in a career path, successful in the eyes of people that call that success, right? And at the same time, the mindset wasn't growing. So you could be with someone that has the finances, but their mindset is not the same. See, it's two different things. I'm not just talking about money right now. I'm talking about your mindset is here. You're constantly moving. You have goals. You have things you're reaching, not the money, but the things, the money's coming and it's there. But then you have the person that just stays here and they're stagnant. That gap is going to cause the tension between you two. Your challenge is to figure out if this person is going to be able to rise to the occasion mentally be able to support you, mentally be able to be there for you, not to say, where have you been? What have you been doing? When they know you just gave them your whole schedule for the day. Anybody been through that? You just gave the person your whole schedule for the day. You told them, I'm in the studio from this time to this time. I have two other meetings and they're still calling. Where you at? What are you doing? It's this nagging stuff instead of being supportive. Hey, babe, how's your day? How things going? You need anything? I'll be here when you get off. Go get your money. That's supportive. It's not the nagging and the going moving the other direction. And see, that's what tore this person's relationship up. It was because the person that was stagnant did not choose to rise up in their mindset and try something different with their actions. So if this is you, you're in one of these relationships right now, I just say, is the relationship helping you to grow in the direction you're moving into, or is it pulling you in the opposite direction? And just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, do I want to look up and have all of this financial success, all of these nice things, and then not have someone to enjoy it with? Most of us want someone to enjoy it with. And if that's you, you're going to have to make an intentional decision to make this thing grow, to come together in a mindset. Get some self help books, attend some conferences together, read some books around business together. Maybe there's some projects and things you can do together that would cause the person's mind to stretch. Have them spend the day with you. Maybe as you move through your boss day, they spend half a day with you. If they want to learn your world and learn how to support you and learn how to be there for you, they will come along with you. And hey, maybe they'll be inspired to go start something or do something. Maybe they'll get so busy that you'll have to ask them, hey, what you been doing today? I would love to see that happen, right? Because when that happens, that means we both have reached a level of success, of reaching goals, of getting things done, of being productive during the day. Let's go ahead and do that together. We have the love, we have the passion, we have the attraction. Let's go get the money together. Let's get our life together. Let's be able to travel together and not have this tension between us because one of us is not living to their full potential. Yep, I said it. And I don't mean no harm by it, but I'm just simply telling you that's what it is. And I know we have these conversations. This is one we can have over wine later. Girls, we can talk about it. Boss ladies, we could be about it. And people call us out on this all the time, but just make it an intention. If that's your intention, some people are fine with, just being single, having different friends and doing them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just personally would like to have that success and that love relationship where that person is fulfilled and I'm fulfilled and we're working together to spoil each other. And that's what I'm working on right now. I hope this conversation was good for you. I'll be back on this topic. And I'm sure many of you are going to join me on this one. I know I started something today.